All right, so I'm gonna get rocking and rolling. What I'm gonna do is I'll run through this. It won't take very long. If you have any questions, feel free to stop me at any time. I'll be happy to answer them. My name is Jim Martin. I'm with the Welch Group, or Welch Insurance and Financial Services. I'm an agent here in the state of Florida, and I write home, auto, and we also write commercial accounts. And today, Carol was kind enough to invite us out to talk about renter's insurance, kind of what the property management covers versus what you're responsible to cover, and the coverages involved with a typical renter's insurance policy. This particular occasion, one of the best pricing, or some of the best pricing we have is nationwide insurance. So I wanted to offer you a company that provides excellent coverage, service for the best price. Okay? The first thing I want to do is I want to talk about, I'm kind of going to jump to the bottom of this coverage page, and really that's coverage A, but it's your personal property. And that would be all your contents. If you picked your apartment up, flipped it upside down, and shook it, everything that fell out would be considered personal property, anything not attached. And what I did is that 50, 40, 30, and 20, that would be replacement cost. Okay? In insurance, when it comes to your dwelling coverage, you have two coverages. One is replacement, and one is actual cash value. Replacement cost is you go out, you find something of similar or like what you had, like a leather sofa. You purchase it brand new, and the insurance company reimburses you for that purchase. Okay? Actual cash value, for lack of a better term, would be they stroke you a check for if you drug it out into your driveway and sold it at a yard sale. That's actual cash value. It's what you paid for it minus depreciation will be what they cut the check. All of my quotes are replacement cost, not actual cash value. Okay? And so you can see the annual prices that are associated with those different amounts. And along with that amount comes with the coverages towards the top of the page. Okay? And that would be loss of use. And that's $4,000. Hey, y'all come on in. How you doing? Loss of use are living expenses paid by the insurance carrier for you to stay somewhere else until another unit is made available. So they will pay up to $4,000 in monthly rents for a similar style place for you to stay if this were not an option here. Okay?
Not one lump sum.
Not in one lump sum.
That's what they did to me in 04.
So it depends, actually. It's not every case scenario. At the time of the claims adjuster would come out, they would assess your contents, and then they would look at the living arrangements, and they may say, hey, look, it's going to take a year before it's back there, and they may do a lump sum like that. It depends on the situation.
I had nationwide on 13 Charlie Comfort.
Oh, yeah.
And I was renting the house.
Mm-hmm.
And they come out because I called them because the mold started.
Right.
Hole in the roof.
Absolutely.
They come out, did a meter test, and this was black mold, get out.
Mm-hmm.
And they cut me a check right there, $5,000.
And that may be what happened in that situation. It could happen. It's different for every situation, but it could happen. The key point is they're going to pay up to that amount, whether it's in a lump sum or not, for you to stay somewhere else until they get things fixed. Liability, $300,000. Okay, so the complex in which you live, they are responsible for a slip and fall if something happens on the outside of the property. Okay, when it comes to the liability piece. Inside your unit is where your responsibility starts. What comes with the quote is $300,000 in liability in case you are liable for an accident inside your house and somebody comes after you to pay for their medical bills or anything else, lost wages. In addition to that, it comes with $1,000 in medical payments. What the heck is that? Well, let's say you have invited guests over, you're in there cooking Thanksgiving dinner, and you're whipping around, peeling potatoes, they cut themselves, they don't have health insurance, and they're like, oh my goodness, you need to help me out with this. You've got $1,000 in coverage per person on medical payments. The deductibles are $500, period. Fire, lightning, all perils, and then hurricane is a separate deductible, but I quoted these at $500 to make it even. You can actually go for a little bit more money to a $250 deductible. And typically in a claims type situation, it's a $1,000 claim, they send you a check for $500. So you're not actually coming out of pocket with the $500. Does that make sense? Okay. If I can, I'm going to just kind of jump back for those of you that came in a little bit later. We are, this is the quote, I'm Jim Martin with the Welch Group. We're an independent agent, but I did these quotes with Nationwide Insurance. And these are annual premiums based off the contents coverage, and those are your personal belongings inside. So anything unattached, you pick the place up, turn it upside down and shake it, anything that fell out will be considered personal contents. And you can pick the contents coverage up along with everything above that for anywhere from $109 a year to $200 a year. And they do have a $10,000 option. I just kind of ran out of time to put that on there. But it's probably between $90 and $100, $90, $95 a year. Does anybody have any questions about the coverages? Did y'all hear the replacement cost spiel that I do out there? On your contents coverage, all right, so that's going to cover your furniture, your clothing. There are limitations on jewelry, fur, and firearms like in any homeowner's policy. They usually limit those out at about $1,000 to $2,500, period. So if you have a very special item of jewelry, oftentimes that's better done on a different type of policy, which is called an inland marine, where you have an appraisal done, say it's a $10,000 ring, just picking a number out of the air, where you can actually schedule that. And on Nationwide, I believe you can schedule those items on here, and it typically is like $3 per 100 for that type of item. Replacement cost, actual cash value, those are the two kind of payments that you're going to be made on a loss when it comes to your contents coverage. Replacement cost is you go out and buy a brand new item, just like the one you lost, and the company reimburses you for that. Your living room set's gone, you're going to walk out, buy a brand new living room set. If it's leather, you get leather. If it's cloth, you get cloth, and they're going to give you the cash for it. Here you go. Actual cash value, it would be after the loss if you try to sell your stuff at a yard sale. That's the kind of check you would get. All of these quotes are replacement cost. You got a question?
No, how do they know if, like, if there was a fire? Do they have to have everything, like a receipt on what they paid?
That's a great question. Obviously, so I'll tell you, I'm not a receipt kind of guy. I try to hang on to them, and what happens, the ones that I do hang on to, by the time I pull them back out, they've turned solid white.
Yeah.
Right?
It's gone.
Forget about it. I will give you a hint on that, though. I replaced the battery in my truck, and the guy said, take your receipt, make a copy of it on a Xerox, on a copier, and hang on to that because that won't fade. So I thought that was pretty good. Here's what I did. I went and took my son's digital camera, and I just snapped a picture of the items in my house. You know, my TV, my furniture, my appliances. And then, yeah, you can do a video. Most of those phones now can do a picture and a video, right? So you can walk through and do that. You can take that little memory chip out, or sometimes they have those little thumb drives on those digital cameras. I'm not that great with it, but I can at least download it to the computer because kind of you plug it in, you turn it on, and voila, it's there. Yeah. And I have it on a computer. I emailed mine to my brother. So he doesn't live in this state, and he's got them on his computer. You know, I'm sure, you know, I'm not sure about the management company here if they can store stuff like that for you, if you have a safety deposit box, but at least have it on something. And that's how I keep track of it. The claims adjuster, when they come out, I'm not a claims adjuster, but when they come out, their goal, as is with the insurance, is to make you whole again as quickly as possible. If something happens, God forbid, you're under a lot of stress, you know, pretty much can see, hey, look, I know what I had. Here's my receipts. Here are my pictures. And that's how they go about it. It's a good question.
Thank
Anybody else?